Talk Tuners.
Hi.
We are ready to celebrate here, guys. This is episode 6, and we are here, and it is summer, and we're excited. How are you feeling, Pena? You feeling excited?
Oh, I'm feeling good. So, hey guys, you can't see me because you're listening on the Spotify or Apple Podcasts or what have you, but I am wearing my Fiesta crown today. It is the last day of Fiesta in San Antonio. And so I am feeling very celebratory, and I'm very happy that we were able to experience some of our traditional Fiesta events this past week. It's great. But I will be happy when it's during its normal time, which is usually around Easter because it's not Africa hot. So this week, no joke, but hey, hung in there like a pro. It's been a year since we've had Fiesta. And for those that don't know what Fiesta is San Antonio's Mardi Gras. It is normally a 2-week celebration. But due to COVID, it was postponed until June. So of course, all of the events didn't happen, but hey, something is better than nothing. And I am wearing my crown, which is something that you will always see the ladies wearing and the guys at all of the events. It's one of the signature get-ups. So I am in a great mood today.
It's a beautiful flower crown for those with ribbons, for those who are not watching on YouTube. And it's going to help us celebrate what is a very celebratory episode in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling celebratory in one way because concerts are back, which we've talked about like, what's our baseline normalcy? What does that look like for us? And one of those for me is definitely concerts. I'd had kind of a running bet with a friend that there wouldn't be a normal show around here in LA until at least the fall. And I think that we're wrong about that, thankfully.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And I paid yesterday more than I believe I've ever paid for a show.
Really?
For next month. And it's because I'm concert starved. I've seen them before. They put on a great show. But I'm concert starved. And I was like very happily forking over this money to go see. I didn't even think about it. Do you want to guess who it was? Because I've seen them, I believe, twice, and we saw them. I'm almost positive we saw them once together.
I'm going to guess it's Foo Fighters.
Holy crap. Good job.
Look at
nice
me.
Work.
Look at me.
Nice work.
I know. Yeah. Awesome. So where are you going to see Mr. Girl at? Where is he playing?
Nice work. He's playing the Forum, which is a pretty big venue, which is also just really exciting. I was even considering going to Madison Square Garden. When we say MSG, guys, by the way, that's what we're referring to. Considering going to MSG to see them, because, I just heard that show was amazing. But I will say, mid-pandemic, last year in the middle of all this, I was like, man, it would be the best first concert to go back to, first post-COVID concert to go back to would be the Foo Fighters. Because I was like, man, talk about somebody who's like, I'm going to put on a life-affirming show.
Right.
It's damn Dave Grohl who's going to put on that show. So I'm pretty effing thrilled.
Yeah.
About it. And I remember, I think we saw them 2005.
Yeah, we saw them at what was then where PNC
Meadowlands?
No. What was the name of the old venue that the New Jersey Nets used to play at? Continental.
I think it was Meadowlands.
No, it was no, it wasn't Meadowlands. It was Continental Arena. It was the basketball arena, so it's where the Nets used to play, and they were playing with Weezer. And they played with Weezer, and Lucy went up to the front because Lucy had an extra floor ticket, something like that, and I stayed in the seats. That was a show.
So close. I remember being so close. I think we took the train. Yeah, and I remember being so close to the stage for some reason. Maybe because I can't learn my lesson. If you guys go back a couple episodes and hear when I was almost trampled at the Audio Slave show. But I remember I was like so close for that show, and it was so good. That's what my memory tells me anyway. I don't know if you remember that as being a hell of a show, but I do.
Foo Fighters always puts on a good show, definitely. And I'll be honest, like over the years, I've started getting tired of them. I'm just going to be completely honest.
Think that's fair.
but I get it. I totally get it. I'm just
I think
they
that's
were just
fair.
too much. I'm like, stop already. Yeah. And I
think that's fair.
Please, Dave Grohl this, Dave Grohl that. Yes, he's amazing. And of course he is. But I was just,
I think that's fair. And also people are like, sometimes they're like studio albums are a little much, or it's like, oh, I don't sit down and listen to their studio albums, I'll listen to this. And I was like, that's totally fair. And I get it. The weird thing is I get it.
Yeah, but they put on a badass show. So there's no denying that. There's no denying that.
Yeah. Puts on a crazy ass show. So fills that arena. Plays to the back row.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I will say this. I saw Foo Fighters in New York. I've seen them a lot of times, tons of times. First time I saw them was with the Breeders in San Antonio at the Live Oak Civic Center, which is now defunct. And that was pretty cool because that was during their first album and nobody knew who the hell they were. They did. Oh, that's the guy from Nirvana, And that was awesome.
Their first album. Wow.
I love their first album. Still my favorite. And I've seen them too many times to count. So definitely the most memorable. There's actually 3. It was that first show that I saw back in 1990. It was probably 1997 when I saw them at the Live Oak Civic Center. And then I saw them in Austin when they played with the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Frank Erwin Center. And that is when Dave Grohl ran through the crowd and I was able to high five him. And that was pretty cool.
Nice.
And that was when we were in college. So that was like 2001, 2002. And then when I was living in New York, they were the music act for the SNL show, the one and only SNL show that I went to.
That's right.
And and the cool thing, for sure, man. And the cool thing is that Dave Grohl waved at me. So we got clout, man. So check it out, y'all. For those that probably haven't been to SNL, I'm sure this is not a common thing, right? Not everybody goes to SNL. Got really lucky. My buddy Kathy had tickets. We went, and the way that the studio is shaped, it's kind of like a funnel. And of course, it's very intimate. There's not thousands of people there. And Foo Fighters played their first set, and I just waved. And he went backstage and immediately ran back and waved back at me. And everyone was like, "Oh my God, Dave just waved at you." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, we're like buddies, man. We got clout." He remembers me from Austin. So, anyway, Foo Fighters, that's awesome, though. It's going to be a great show. I know that MSG show was killer, and Dave Chappelle came out to sing Creep. How cool is that? Cool.
He did. I know. I'm wondering, who will the special guests be? But somebody who brings like that energy back is what I'm super excited about.
For sure. You know what? Awesome about this too is that their next album, Foo Fighters' next album coming out is actually the Dee Gees. They're doing a tribute to the Bee Gees. They're doing a disco album. And they're doing a disco album, which is really cool. And today we're talking about a disco band. So I think that's awesome, Stephanie. It all comes together. It's Black Music Month, which is fantastic. Nothing but great artists to talk about. And today we are going to be talking about the one and only Kool and the Gang, one of my most favorite bands. Love them, love them, love them. And a bunch of other artists that played with them in one magical night in Coney Island. So I'm going to set that stage real quick. And we have some really fun stuff for us to talk about. And actually, we have a special little giveaway that I'm going to let Myers introduce.
Yeah, guys. So Talk Tuners, just want to say thanks for listening. And as a little token of our appreciation, today we have a little giveaway. It's a Kool and the Gang anti-anxiety adult coloring book. I want this thing. Yeah, I would like this. I would love to win this.
Yes,
so fun. If you enjoy coloring books like I do, this one is literally a Kool and the Gang themed coloring book. So we're going to tell you what at the end of the episode you should be listening for. So really, you need to listen really well during this episode. We'll let you know details at the end and how you can enter the contest. But that's what we got for you.
Awesome. All right, Top Tuners, let's go. Let's do this. This is great. I love me a good coloring book. All right. So Steph's going to drop some Kool and the Gang knowledge. Go, Steph, go.
I do got some knowledge. Kool and the Gang, they're such a cool band. No pun intended, but they really are. They were formed by brothers. Robert Kool Bell and Ronald Bell, all the way back in 1964. So they have truly been around a while. Let's say their first studio album, I believe, was 1971, but have been together since 1964. Over the years, wow. They're amazing. They're amazing. They've won 2 Grammy Awards. They've won 7 AMAs. And, you know, it's hard to underestimate their influence and how they really are all over the radio, have permeated every part of kind of the cultural landscape. Just a ton of songs. Start with, Celebration, of course. We'll talk about that. Fresh, Get Down on It, Jungle Boogie, Cherish, Ladies Night, even a self-titled song. It's an instrumental self-titled song. I always personally love it when a band just references their own name in the song. The Backstreet Boys.
Unless it's 311.
All right. Yeah. I think it's hilarious when bands reference their own song. This one's instrumental, so it's okay. But anyway, I find that to be funny. And I know we have fun associations from different songs of theirs.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So Kool the Gang, man. Like I said earlier, one of my favorites, y'all. This is funny. As I start to get older, I realize how much I love disco music. I always have, but it's like, okay, yeah, we've talked about, I'm a metalhead. Absolutely. But I can get down to some disco. And Kool the Gang has always been on there. And the great thing about Kool the Gang is that, they're disco, they're funk, and, R&B. So I grew up with, listening to all those types of fantastic music. So super excited to talk about them today. When I think about Jungle Boogie, I always think about Pulp Fiction. that just comes right to my mind. I don't know if you have that association stuff, but I have that for me. But yeah, so Kool the Gang, they're still touring. I hear they're coming to LA, Stephanie. Is that true?
They are still touring. They're coming to the Hollywood Bowl. Actually, it's the July 4th weekend. This episode's going to come out on June 30th, so this will be the following weekend. They're still doing it, and they're coming out. Awesome. So check that out because concerts are back.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. So the next concert I'm going to see is Lamb of God with Megadeth. I hate Megadeth. Sorry, I do. But I'm going to go see Lamb of God, which I'm really excited about. And I will get to see the Deftones as well. I was supposed to see them in 2020, but of course COVID happened. So that should be coming up in September. Those are the only 2 that I have right now. But to be honest, I haven't looked to see who else is coming through SA. So who knows? I may even see the Foo Fighters myself. We'll see. I don't even want to know what you paid for that ticket, but it'll be well worth it.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't. But let's talk about Kool the Gang. So today we're focusing on Celebration. Celebration is one of my favorite songs, and it actually reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart on February 7th of 1981. And held that position for 2 weeks before being ousted by Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. It remains the band's only number 1 hit. Guys, check it. My birthday is February 21st, 1981. And when I found this out, I'm like, oh my God, this just makes so much sense. It was foreshadowing my life. I used to be an event planner. I love to celebrate. Celebration is just, I've always loved that song. So February 7th, I was 2 weeks away cooking in the womb in my mama's womb, little baby Benny on there, dancing to celebrate. And then Dolly Parton came on my birthday, wiped it out. And I have been a slave to my job for I don't even know how long. So I feel like 9 to 5 is written for me. And oh my God. So it just makes sense. And also, y'all just got to share that because it's crazy. It's crazy. So 9 to 5 is number 1 when I was born. And I swear to God, it's foreshadowing my career. But we'll save that for another time. No one needs to hear about that. But also, Celebration. I love the song, but it's also a song that I default to under stress. And one thing that I remember when Stephanie and I were living in New York is that we weren't trying to pay for cabs to go everywhere. And so we would take the train after a late night of, partying, going to a comedy show, a movie, whatever, we were night owls. We lived it up. And we sure did take the subway home back to Brooklyn. And we'd be waiting for a lot of hours. So people think that New York doesn't sleep. New York sleeps and MTA sleeps. And they go on all sorts of crazy schedules. And we could be waiting for as long as 45 minutes for a train. And while we're on that platform, I'm here singing Celebration because I'm under stress, but it makes me feel good and we're doing good times. So I would just like to say thank you, Kool the Gang, because you've always kept me cool under stress.
I love that. And I recall how you would just be like, now I'm going to sing the song. It's pretty great. I know.
Good stuff.
I know your household kind of disagrees on that song.
Yeah, so my husband hates the song. Like, I don't understand how or why. I don't get it. But he loves Huey Lewis, and I don't care for him at all. So that is what it is. Teach their own. Love you, Jeff.
I know, it's like such a weird song to have hate for.
It's such a happy song, right?
Yeah,
like why?
To be like, oh, I hate that. It'd be like, oh, yeah, I actively hate the song. So I find that to be kind of funny.
It's
hilarious. I'm very, very entertained by that. And I'm also really entertained on how Celebration came about, the origins of the song. It originated from their lyric, come on, let's all celebrate, from their song Ladies Night. And then and you can't, God, who can beat Ladies Night? And that inspired Robert Bell to write a song that he described as an international anthem. That's what he sees Celebration as. So it's like, it's such a
nice.
Like, how do you hate this song? It's just amazing. So it's great, and Kool the Gang is great.
I'm over here doing mama snaps and dancing. Y'all remember mama snaps? I talked about that during the Vegas episode. I mean, just thinking about Kool the Gang, I can't even stand still. I'm like dancing. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's awesome. An international anthem. Yeah. So, even tying back, I think about Celebration. I always tie it to the subway, but I also think about my first event. So guys, I used to be an event planner, and in New York, I worked for Susan G. Komen, and I loved putting together the soundtrack for the Race for the Cure. That was one of my favorite things to do. And I remember putting Celebration as the first song, and I was like, yeah, because we need to get down. And so I think about the Run Walk and Celebration and how cool that was. Anyway, Kool the Gang, such a special band. So Steph and I went to go see Kool the Gang, Bootsy Collins, and Morris Day and the Time. Okay, can I repeat that again? Kool the Gang, Bootsy Collins, and Morris Day and the Time. What a fucking bill at Coney Island on August 12th of 2016. Coney Island is definitely a very special place for me and Stephanie. We have so many memories there, and it's actually my favorite place in the world. I absolutely love it. And of course, I'm not all that well traveled, but I don't care. Nothing can beat Coney Island. Coney Island is just got it all for me. It's got the freaks, it's got the beach, it's got fun, it's got history, it's got the carnival. I love it. Absolutely love it. And Coney Island being a place for summer, definitely like a summer place to go for New Yorkers, of course. They hold a lot of different shows. So Coney Island in 2016 had just opened a new amphitheater, and that's where we saw this show. But prior to that, they would put on what was called Siren Fest, which would literally just be a stage in the middle of like between the Wonder Wheel and I don't even know the beat, another roller coaster or something. I don't even know. Aging brain. But regardless, they always had some type of really big music influence and party down in New York during the summer. And that was super fun. And of course, this month, June, they had the Mermaid Festival. And for those that don't know what the Mermaid Festival is, it's basically a big parade where everybody's dressed in aquatic form. And it is so much fun. So much fun. Steph, I mean, how much fun have we had at Coney Island? I mean, I can't.
We've seen so many shows there. I was trying to go through and think of them, including kind of when they moved Siren Fest, like from the boardwalk. I think you're around. There's this. It was a great summer series, and it was. It's not right there in the boardwalk. Everything else, it's about half mile away, and they had Blondie, Hall & Oates. All these free shows down there. And I feel like that one was a little lesser known. And I think you and I had gone to at least a couple. I know I'd gone to some of those. And I feel like it was kind of this series that not everybody knew about because the Central Park and Prospect Park shows were the ones that kind of got all the ink as far as like free summer shows. But it was a great series in Coney Island. Yes. And Coney Island's a great place to see music no matter where you are in Coney. It's just really cool, magical place.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I'm ready to book my ticket now. Let me see if Coney Island theater's opening up. I want to go see a show.
right?
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Scott, talk about the show. You have a really good story regarding the shenanigans that went down at this funkadelic disco show. It's fun.
Yeah. So as Penny talked about, this is Kool the Gang, Bootsy Collins, Morris Day at the time, out of Coney Island. It's 2016. It's in the amphitheater. It's really, it's kind of a cool spot. It's got shelter. You're by the ocean. You get a nice breeze. And for me, venue is important to see a show to enjoy it. So it was really nice to have this nice place. So we're watching the show and everybody's just like really excited and happy because that's what Kool the Gang inspires. Like, come on, like they created celebration. You know, people are like actively celebrating because they know what they're doing. Like they know how to play a crowd. They know how to play to the back row. Mm-hmm. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's having a great time. And it's really all demographics. I'd say all ages. Like it was really kind of everybody over there for Kool the Gang. Yeah. And everyone's just being like, getting along. It's having a lot of fun. And then I guess somebody was having like too good a time because I look over in the crowd and there's kind of this scuffle as security like quickly makes his way towards this random dude in the crowd. And this like seemingly normal looking dude is like undoing his pants and decided like he's going to pee right there, like in the middle of the row. Like these are seats, you know what I mean? Like in the middle of the row. And so like at this point, like security is basically tackling this guy and like to their credit saw it real fast, like tackling this guy and escorting him out. Yeah. I mean, you can imagine how obvious this must have been to see this shadow of this person doing something very clearly. I was like, Stephanie, you see that? Like, what the hell's going on? But it's kind of funny because it's Brooklyn.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And everybody's seen worse all the time. Everyone's like, oh yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you decide to do this in the middle of a Kool in the Gang show? And so the funniest part too is the New York response of like, as security like takes this guy away, like everyone's kind of like strangers are shrugging at each other and just kind of continuing to dance. Which is a great
it was like
response.
A shrug and move away from the urine.
like, oh, well, we won't let this stop our dancing. So that was
we gotta dance around the urine. That is hilarious. It's like, yep, we're just going to move over. There's some clean concrete over here. Yeah, no one skipped a beat. Kool the Gang did not stop. The party did not stop. It was awesome.
No, completely the party did not stop.
So they were the headliners. Hell no. That was like, I think that I lost probably like 1,200 calories. I burned 1,200 calories because, girl, I was just gone the whole time. I was going for it.
You were like, this is the time
and
to
so
do this.
Kool the Gang was the headliners. And before they came on board, Morris Day played the stage. And, oh, man, I do love me some Morris Day. Morris Day and the Time. As we know, Morris Day and the Time, or if you don't know, this is one of Prince's many creations. He owned the band. He owned the rights. He was the man behind Morris Day. And Stephanie found some really good info that Mr. Day shared with us. So please do tell us, Steph.
Yeah. So this was like fascinating to learn. I guess Morris Day and the Time, created by Prince, was the only band Prince was ever afraid of. This is a Rolling Stone article that just came out. There's a interview with Morris Day. And it was fascinating to kind of learn about. There's a little bit of rivalry. Prince, notorious for creating different acts and then also like creating people's personalities. Look up Carmen Electra. He named people. Like Prince is just Prince. Like he just kind of did whatever the hell he wanted to do. But yeah, the only band Prince was ever afraid of. And Morris Day went on to talk about, it's like he was very grueling rehearsing schedule for them, like had all this, they had food fights. And then I guess there was a couple shows where they would open, of course, for Prince on the Revolution. And I guess they'd heard from some audience members like, oh, Morris Day was tighter than Prince tonight. And Prince did not like that. And I guess there was some animosity there, like a little bit of, I don't know if they still got along after that, but I know Prince was notorious for his perfectionist.
Right.
he wanted things to be his way, and that's why he was a genius, and all of that. But I thought that was pretty funny, coming from them.
My gosh, he felt intimidated by Morris Day. I mean, but guys, if you ever get the chance to see them, do it, because they are pretty damn flawless. I mean, bring the mirror, right? You know, you've got Morris Day always trying to look in the mirror, and he brings it because he wants to look good and be perfect. Actually, I had read that right before Prince passed, he was working on an album with Morris Day. So, yeah, they definitely kept that friendship. And so, Morris Day paid tribute to Prince at a tribute to Prince concert with what was it? Bruno Mars. Yes, him and Bruno Mars. They performed some Prince songs together. You know, Morris Day is definitely a character. If you guys remember Purple Rain, he seems like a bit of a douchebag. Well, you know, that seems to play into real life, but I don't know. I love it. I think he's funny. I just see him as a character, and just this character, not even a real person. I don't know. It's weird.
That's fair. Talk Tuners, Stephanie and I were talking before the show on just like how we have differing opinions on Elvis, as you may have heard in the last episode. Go back to the Willie Nelson episode. We have like different opinions on Morris Day. Stephanie really likes him. I'm not a fan of the guy, and maybe it's unfair. See him as like pretty misogynist, and again, part of that's his Purple Rain persona. But it's funny because it's like we have these different folks that we have different opinions about. It'd be kind of funny to have a lightning round episode where we go through different acts and we each say yay or nay and talk about why. But
for sure. We totally should do that. That's hilarious. Yeah, and so it's interesting because I'm cool with it, you know. But and guys, I'm a feminist, and I am, but I just like Morris Day. It is what it is. But enough about him. He's taking too much of our time. He needs to go look back in the mirror. Let's talk about Bootsy Collins. So Bootsy Collins actually opened up this show. Oh my God, what a genius Bootsy Collins is. Oh my gosh. You know, this was probably about the second or third time that I saw him. First time I saw him, this was the second time. I saw him at ACO Live in 2011. I actually have a picture with Mr. Bootsy. He was totally cool. It was like a guitar god concert. Johnny Lang was there. You had Los Lobos there as well. It was so much fun. And Bootsy Collins is from Cincinnati, and he's a Bengals fan like me. So anyway, side bit. But Steph, you've seen him as well. Tell him about your experience.
Yeah. So of course, Bootsy, you know, started his career with James Brown. And then of course, Parliament Funkadelic. Bootsy Collins. This guy, if you see him, he's known for his sense of style too, as far as his music. But he's a national treasure. He's amazing. I did get to see George Clinton play deeper in Brooklyn. Also, these summer New York outdoor shows are amazing. So if you've ever seen George Clinton play, like, he's incredible. So it was Parliament George Clinton. Bootsy was there. It was really, really a cool show. And I mean, these guys have seen everything too, and they're still out there, and they know touring is just really important for them, and it's important for them to be in front of their fans. And they always say that. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw George Clinton at a crawfish festival in Buda.
Oh,
yeah,
funny.
It was very random, but it was awesome though. Like, everyone was just throwing their crawfish in the air and just dancing. It was good times. I mean, I say this pretty much every episode, but we are so fortunate to see such great acts that are such a big part of the rock and roll community. And just, oh my gosh, these are legends, Stephanie. Like,
yeah, totally.
Wow. Holy shit. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm getting all excited over here. But yeah, I'll definitely have to post that picture of me and Bootsy Collins. It was fun times. He was a nice dude. But yeah, I mean, it's something about disco, man. Anytime if I'm in a bad mood, I'll put on some disco, I'll put on some Kool the Gang, and just, shrug it off. Deep breath, shrug it off, and do the mama snaps. It'll be all right.
Shake it off, Shake it off.
For real. And I'm looking forward to the Foo Fighters disco album. Let's see how this is. So
yeah,
disco forever.
Oh, hard same. Hard same. Like, that's going to be real interesting. And now's the time, now's the time to get back to the shows. So, so that's going to be really, really fun.
So as far as, thinking about what's coming down, Steph, are you planning to see Kool the Gang when they come in July? Are you going to be able to make it to that show?
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it to that particular one. And it's funny, too, because the LA shows that have now come back, they get sold out really quickly. So even the Foo Fighters show, it was sold out in less than 24 hours. We had to go to StubHub and get those tickets, which is, of course, why they're like, we'll charge whatever the hell we want to. So that was what it was. But I think it's going to be really good. And this one's, they're playing the Hollywood Bowl, and the Hollywood Bowl is a treasured institution here in LA. So Kool the Gang fans are in for a real treat, I think.
Right on, right on. Well, I really want to know what their favorite Kool the Gang song is. So, I love Celebration. Stephanie, you love?
Well, my favorite of all time is the semi-underrated 1984 song Cherish.
Good song.
There's seagulls in the middle of it, which, can you say that for another top 40 hit? They're just like, let's have some seagulls. And then also includes the relatively dark line, if you receive your calling before I awake, will I make it through the night? It's pretty dark. Thank you, Kool the Gang. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it. But I appreciate it in a genuine way. Even though it's like, wow, guys, all right, this is kind of a different song. So anyway, those are
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And those are our personal faves.
But God, when you listen to that song, like, I totally didn't even realize it had this little dark tone to it. Because when I listen to the song, I just think it's a good jam. It's an R&B. I'm like, cherish the love we have. I'm like, yeah. We should cherish the love we... Oh.
You're like, let's cherish it. What are we doing?
I need to stop. I need to stop. But that's awesome, because I really haven't dived into the lyrics. So pretty funny how artists can do that, right? You're just thinking, you're all singing and having a good old time, and they're really singing about something dark.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, so this is about his girlfriend might die overnight. That's cool, guys, but genuinely love it. And good 80s, kind of prime 80s Kool the Gang, I would say. So that takes it all back, because, we talked about our giveaway today. If you want to win this Kool the Gang anti-anxiety coloring book, you need to reach out to us and tell us what are our favorite personal Kool the Gang songs. What did you just hear in this episode? You can email us at stephaniestalktunes@gmail.com, or you could reach out to us with the answer on any of our social platforms. Stephanie's Talk Tunes on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or just Stephanie's Talk, because that's shorter, on Twitter, with your answer. If we have more than one correct answer, we'll draw the winner, and then we'll announce the winner on the next episode.
Awesome. I'm excited. Oh my gosh, this is cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, Talk Tuners. And there's a lot to celebrate right now, guys. So I'm going to start my celebration. Like I said, it's the last day of Fiesta in San Antonio, so I got to go. Bye.
Bye, guys. Reach out to us anytime. Peace.